Welcome to the final segment of the Emotional Intelligence playlist. I am Issa, known as the Hospitality Guru, and this segment I will show you how to use scientifically backed strategies to apply in your life to actually improve your emotional intelligence. Now, before we get into these strategies, there's a couple things that you should know. There are 4 different skills like we talked about before. There are 66 proven strategies in total. From self-awareness, there are 15 proven strategies. And then from self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, there are 17 in each of them, totaling up to 66. Also, one other thing you should know before we begin, before you choose a strategy, you should pick a skill that you know you're weak in. You can take an emotional appraisal test online. I did an appraisal test with this. Honestly, it just gives you like a general feedback about like your scores, but I personally think that it's not as accurate because when you take an emotional test, you're emotionally stable when you're taking it, so that results are not going to be as accurate, obviously. Where if you're mad or stressed out taking the test, your results are going to be different, obviously. So step 1, pick 1 out of the 4 skills to work on. Step 2, pick 3 strategies out of all the strategies for that one skill. Next, you're going to give yourself a period of 3 to 4 months to work on these strategies because you need to be patient to actually see results, just like anything. So this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick 1 to 2 strategies from each of the 4 skills and explain how you can apply that to your life and how that can relate to the hospitality industry. So let's jump straight into this. So I'm using Emotional Intelligence 2.0 as my reference, as I've been using it for most of my video. So starting with self-awareness, I'm going to jump into the strategy. It's called Lean Into Your Discomfort. So I'm gonna read this out of the book and then I'll explain it in my own words. The biggest obstacle to increasing your self-awareness is the tendency to avoid the discomfort that comes from seeing yourself as you really are. Things you do not think about are off your radar for a reason. They can sting when they surface. Avoiding this pain creates problems because it is merely a short-term fix. You'll never be able to manage yourself effectively if you ignore what you need to do to change. Rather than avoiding a feeling, your goal should be to move toward that emotion, into it, and eventually through it. This can be said for even a mild emotion, such as boredom, confusion, or anticipation. When you ignore or minimize an emotion, no matter how small it is, you miss the opportunity to do something productive with that emotion. Even worse, ignoring your feelings does not make them go away. It just helps them to surface again when you least expect them. To be effective in life, we all need to discover our own arrogance. Those things that we don't bother to learn about and dismiss as unimportant. For example, let's say one person thinks apologizing is for sissies, or they're too man enough not to apologize. That person will never learn to recognize when one is needed in life. Let's take another person who hates feeling down. So this person distracts himself with meaningless activity and never really feels content. Both people need to take the bold step of leaning into the feelings that will motivate them to change. Otherwise, they will continue down an unproductive, unsatisfying path, repeating the same patterns over and over again, being stuck in this cycle now. After the first few times you lean into your discomfort, you will quickly find that the discomfort isn't so bad. It doesn't ruin you, it actually reaps rewards if you think about it. What's the worst thing that can happen when you jump into your discomfort? You're not gonna die, guys. You're not gonna pass away. Worst case scenario, you're gonna feel very uncomfortable, but hey, guess what? You're gonna learn a valuable lesson about yourself. You're gonna learn how to lower your arrogance. I myself struggle with this. I can be arrogant in many different aspects of my life. So it is really important to check yourself and revisit your values and lean into that discomfort. There's a reason behind your arrogance, guys. There's nothing good that can come out of arrogance because when you're arrogant, you're limiting yourself to learn and grow from others. You can learn from any interaction that you have. Think about it. The other day, I learned such a huge valuable lesson from just passing a soccer ball with a 12-year-old boy. This boy taught me a valuable lesson of what it means to have an older role model, an older brother figure, because when I was playing soccer with him, he opened up to me and said how he was feeling really down that he couldn't be playing soccer in a team-based environment because of COVID last year, and he felt like he missed a lot in life, and his parents were always busy at work, so they didn't have any time for him. So he told me taking time out of my day, which was like, I think it was 30 minutes to just pass the ball around with this kid, literally made his week, and he actually wanted me to come every week. This was in Toronto when this happened, so I wasn't able to see the kid again, But that kid taught me a valuable lesson of what it means to be a role model and how important it is to be there for the people in your life. The surprising thing about increasing your self-awareness is that just thinking about it will help you change. Even though much of your focus will initially be on the things you do wrong. Don't be afraid of your emotional mistakes, guys. They tell you what you should be doing differently and provide that steady stream of information you need to understand yourself as life unfolds. So that is one strategy of self-awareness, leaning into your discomfort. I hope that was helpful. I can't tell you how to lean into your discomfort because I don't know what your discomfort is. Like I said, it can be arrogance, it can be feeling down, it can be in always being bored or not caring about the world. So pay attention to when you're feeling these emotions and try to dive into it instead of ignoring it and disguising it with another distraction. We procrastinate a lot, right? Like when you need to get something done, we'd rather like watch YouTube, but it's okay, you can watch my videos. But you know what I mean. We procrastinate, we watch TV, we play video games. We do many different things to procrastinate. I procrastinated for a year just to post my first YouTube video. So lean into your discomfort, guys. I'll share a story with all of you about my self-awareness. I wanted to start a YouTube channel last year. I didn't even end up posting one video. Why? Because I was avoiding my feelings of discomfort. What were my feelings of discomfort? Well, I was focusing on step 2 to 100 instead of just focusing on step 1. Meaning, instead of looking at the first step, writing script, making a YouTube video, and going from there, I was thinking about, okay, how am I gonna market myself? How am I gonna make these videos? What kind of camera settings do I need? How am I gonna put an end card? What music do I use? Oh my God, how do I video edit? Where did I learn this from? Like, there was 1,000 things in my head that just made it so daunting and so much friction in order for me to start. And now that I dived into this feeling of discomfort, I told myself, okay, this is coming out of me being a perfectionist. I have to lower my arrogance and just be vulnerable like what I'm doing right now with all of you, and just sitting down in the chair, putting my lights on and just film. It's so unnatural to talk to the camera, but I'm doing it anyway because with any skill, the more you practice it, the better you're gonna become at it. So here I am now making a video after 1 year of wasting my time. So guys, girls, people, I'm telling you, it's really important to lean into your discomfort. An example for the self-awareness strategy leading into your discomfort: if you're uncomfortable doing a large banquet function, or if you're uncomfortable doing 100 check-ins in a day, or if you're uncomfortable putting yourself in a leadership role, you gotta lean into that discomfort and ask yourself why. Okay, so if you're stressed about doing 100 check-ins that day, then maybe the discomfort feeling is that you don't think you're as competent enough, or you're not confident in your abilities. So the solution would be to ask training from your managers to get yourself better in that situation. Don't feel down to go to your managers to ask for this. They would love to give you more resources and help if they know it's gonna benefit the business. Or if your discomfort feeling is about being a leader, then you have to lean into that discomfort and ask yourself, why? Do I not have confidence? Do I not have leadership qualities? Do people not lean on me? Do people not respect me? You have to literally ask yourself these questions. And a good way to practice this is to literally ask the 5 closest people in your life, what are your 5 biggest flaws? Ask them this and be ready to get your feelings hurt, okay? But I want you to approach this in a way where it's objective and you want to learn and grow. For example, I asked my mom what was my biggest flaw 5 years ago, and she told me that I used to lose my temper very easily, very quickly. And when she told me that, I'm like, okay, you know what? That's a really good point. Instead of ignoring that feeling of discomfort and filling myself with a distraction or ignoring that problem, I actually really leaned into it. I asked myself, why do I have a short temper? The reason for that was insecurity. And I won't go deep into that, but after working on myself, I don't remember the last time I lost my temper. Like, it is extremely difficult for me to lose my temper now because I know how my emotions work, and I had to dive deep into my discomfort for this. So that's a little piece from me to you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this inspires everyone to lean into their discomfort and actually allow this to grow themselves and level up as a human being, whether that's the hospitality industry or just in life. I know I said I was gonna do 2 strategies for each one. Since this is taking longer than I thought, I'll just stick to 1 strategy for each category. If you really like this video and want to hear more strategies and how I apply them to my life or how you can apply them in your life, then please give this video a like, comment, and I'll be sure to make more videos.